Greetings, YouTube. I've discussed medical gaslighting here before, when doctors, particular male doctors, don't listen to their patients. Literally do not hear the words out of their patients' mouths. Sorry, there's a cat behind me. And it's worse if you're a person, if you're a black person or a brown person or a gay person or a trans person. Particularly if your doctor is not any of these things. If you have a straight, cis, white male doctor, and you are a black trans woman, you are not going to get the support that you need. It is very unlikely that that person is going to have any idea how to support you and how to listen to you and how to help you. I was listening to a reverend on WGBH once talking about having gone to a doctor at a hospital and talking about the fact that she thought that the current condition that she was experiencing was anxiety-based, and that there could probably be some kind of a link there. Now, the black pastor, college-educated, teaches courses at a professorial level, okay, well-spoken, does podcasts and radio programs. And a white male doctor looked at her and said, "Why isn't that a big word?" Where she stopped for a second and looked at him and said, do you know who my wife is?" The doctor said, "No." He said, "She's your boss." So that was a learning experience for that particular doctor. But not all doctors are going to have that situation happen. Most of the time, their patients aren't going to have any power. They're not going to have any way to change their opinion. And when a trans person talks to them, they may just dismiss it. Or a parent is concerned about their kid because they're going through a crisis of gender, trying to figure out who they are. And the doctor may just dismiss it. Or somebody is grappling with their sexuality and looking for help and isn't getting it. Because while my therapist can say, you should really go on antidepressants, my therapist can't prescribe me antidepressants. My GP has to. So my therapist has to convince my GP, thankfully, he was able to convince her that I needed antidepressants. And now I've gotten to a point where, I'm getting what I think I need. But not everyone has that support. And my white, cis, straight female doctor listened to my white male therapist. Good, glad, awesome. Would that have been different if their ethnicities or genders had been different? Would I have been getting the same care if I had a male doctor? Which is why I don't have one. I don't like them. I don't trust them. I have had experiences, even as a straight white cis man, not having them listen to me. Doctors seem to be highly educated and have absolutely no idea how to treat the humans that they have spent a decade of their life training to treat and remembering them as humans. Not as a bag of symptoms, not as a previous medical history and maybe a solution, but actually listening to them and dealing with them as people. Of course, the system itself is set up all that well for that kind of support either. It's boom, 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 get those patients in and out as fast as possible, make as much money as you can, which is repugnant. There should never be a profit in healthcare. All healthcare should be nonprofit, all of it. Of course, the doctors and the nurses and everyone else will get paid. But the institutions, they should be nonprofit. There should be no profit-driven decisions made in healthcare at all, ever. No one should ever have to worry about getting their insulin. And we should expect our doctors and our nurses to listen. I can tell you 100 stories out there. You can go find them of nurses that won't listen. Or women being asked again and again and again, "Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? When they tell them that, I've had a hysterectomy, or uh, I'm infertile, or I've had my tubes tied, or I'm gay, and I don't sleep with people who have penises. And they still don't listen. And they still keep hammering that question home at them. I'm not a woman who has to put up with that. It sounds soul crushing to me. The medical industry isn't listening to us, and it isn't giving us the support we need, and we have to do something about it. And you shouldn't have to put up with it. No one should. My mother-in-law's had that experience. Had a doctor describe to her what she should be doing, and she telling him how she is actually doing the thing he is telling her to do, and he just keeps telling her to do the thing that she is already telling him that she is doing, and he literally is not hearing the words leave her mouth. It is like she is on mute. What are you going to do? You change doctors, but how many times can you do that before you are come to be known as a problem patient? Because you're somebody that wants to actually get the medical support you so desperately need. Are people telling you or dismissing your symptoms and having you go doctor after doctor? Do you finally find one that listens, does the right kind of tests, and discovers, hey, guess what? You actually have a medical condition that, now that we recognize it and have identified it, can now treat it and help you. Medical gaslighting happens every day, and it shouldn't happen ever. And it's nauseating that it does. And we need to do something to stop it. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, speak up for yourself. Don't put up with the bullshit. Do everything you can to be your own advocate. Express your agency and your autonomy. Fight them if you have to. Tooth and nail. Demand that you get the treatment you need. And maybe if all of us do this, maybe they'll start to listen.